The baby wrapped up in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger, isn't there just because there was no room in the inn. There was no room in the inn so that God's Son, the Lamb of God, would be lying in a manger, wrapped up in swaddling clothes as a sign that conveys a meaning. That means it was by very purpose Mother Mary and Joseph could not find any place to stay, but had no option rather than taking shelter where the lambs were kept. Jesus is the sacrificial lamb, of whom all the prophecies of the Old Testament sacrifices are related. The mystery of the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem was related to the sacrifice itself. Bethlehem was famous for the greenery. The lambs, which were offered up as sacrifices in the temple, used to be born and raised there. Every firstborn male lamb from the area around Bethlehem was considered holy, set aside for sacrifice in Jerusalem. Generations of the clan of shepherds tended the sacred flocks. They were no ordinary shepherds. They used to spend many cold, lonely nights in the fields. As protectors of the sheep, they risked their lives to keep the animals from going astray and falling into the many ravens of the hill country. After pouring their lives out into their flocks, the shepherds would separate the lambs, choosing only the perfect firstborn males to drive to Jerusalem. There, the lambs would be purchased by those who wished to atone for their sins. On the same mountain where Abraham had offered his son to the Lord, the lambs would shed their blood and lose their lives as that atonement. It was an endless cycle. Joseph and Mother Mary, in the hour of emergency, found a place which was empty, the place where the sacrificial lambs were kept. Because the shepherds took them out to the fields, the place was empty. Joseph and Mother Mary, in their emergency, was unaware that they have landed in the right place. Jesus was born in that place because that was the place where Jacob saw a stairway to heaven for angels. The place Jacob anointed and named Bethel, the house of God. And because Jesus was the sacrificial lamb, therefore he had to be born where the sacrificial lambs used to take birth for the temple. That is why the blessed shepherds were the first ones to be given news of his birth in the night, while they were taking care of the sacrificial lambs. And when they saw Jesus, they understood that the prophecy has come true and the Messiah has arrived in the world. And they got the message that now there is no need to risk their lives to take care of the lambs for sacrifice. And after that, they did not bring the lambs back in that place where Joseph, Mother Mary, and Jesus was. We can see how well planned and purposeful was God's doing in everything related to Jesus, the Messiah. So if the place of the birth of Jesus was something related and important, then it has to be that the place of crucifixion must also be of some prominence. That is what we are going to know in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to enjoy our upcoming informative videos. Golgotha means the place of the skull. This place got its name back in the time of David, where the scholars of the Bible believe that after David beheaded Goliath in the valley of Elah, he brought the head in Jerusalem and buried it in this place, and that is why it was named Golgotha. There is a mountain which also looks like a skull, where people believe that can be the reason why it received its name. Whatever might be the case, but we know that there must be a reason behind Jesus sacrificing his precious life in Golgotha, just as we saw earlier in the video why he was born in Bethlehem. In Genesis chapter 3 verse 21, we see that God made garments of animal skin for Adam and Eve. It is obvious that God had to kill an animal to take off its skin and make garments for Adam and Eve. There has to be a place where God brought that animal killed it, and unskinned it, and made garments for Adam and Eve. And that place has to be on the earth. Has to be in Jerusalem, not in front of Adam and Eve, but away from them, or we can say on the outskirts of the Garden of Eden. Yes, and that was the place which was later on called Golgotha. Jesus was sacrificed in Golgotha because that was the place where God sacrificed the first ever animal to initiate the sacrificial system as a denotation of Jesus' sacrifice which was to come. This was the reason why the crucifixion of Jesus was fixed to be on the hill of Golgotha. It was the place where God came down and performed first ever animal sacrifice. So now we know even Golgotha has a prominence since the beginning. If you enjoyed the information, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell and share the video.